Godzilla. All right, we're going to try this one more time. We just had a little technical failure. Hopefully it keeps on rocking. But I am here with Dakotah Phend. We are in the Modelix Tent. There goes Modelix right there. They've been kind enough to let us park our butts here this podcast all week. And also one of Dakotah's sponsors. So Ultimate Racing, Nitrolux Fuels. Dakotah, nothing's guaranteed, but you made the semis. I forgot what I was going to say when we were like leading into this awesome segment. I was going to say probably earth-shattering shit that everyone wanted to hear. However, now I just want to know, how's things going?
Honestly, I'm pretty decently content with how things are going. I mean, obviously, you always want to be the fastest, feel the most comfortable. But I mean, it's definitely an uphill battle here. We kind of knew what to expect after 2022 here. And the layout is quite a bit different, so we're having to make, we kind of started where we ended last time, and we've made a lot of changes each round, and we're in the ballpark now, so I feel pretty comfortable. We kind of started out day one of qualifying just being really consistent, being really smooth. I felt like just kind of was driving around at like 90% nice and safe and easy, and then kind of tried to push the pace a little bit more today, had a couple little bobbles here and there, and learn some more stuff with the car and tires, so we're in a decent position. The top four definitely have some speed on me. I kind of feel like I'm the best of the rest right now at this point. So this will be the first time, the semi on Saturday will be the first time I actually get to race with these guys and kind of see where they're going faster. If it's something I can adjust my driving, I'm sure driving style wise, I can probably make some progress. This layout is really pretty much like on-road, like road course racing. You can see the block line out there is not anything like a line we would take back home in the U.S.
No.
So I've been getting better and better at that, working on the corner speed, and kind of trying to figure that out, and we're getting closer. So I'm curious to kind of see where they're going faster than me, and if it's how much of it is me and how much is things we need to do to the car. So it'll be good. My plan is just to kind of stay smooth and consistent. I don't know what everyone else is going to do mileage-wise, so we'll kind of have a better idea after the semi and kind of just have to go from there.
I was actually really surprised you didn't do any 10-minute runs, and I know Drake, he predicated his whole qualifying on 10-minute runs. Yep. Not taking anything away from him because he runs really good and consistent. But in my mind, I'm thinking you're going to at least go one. Just to see, and you didn't. So are you guys comfortable with how things are going mileage-wise at this point?
Yeah, I mean, this track is for sure tough on mileage. I mean, we saw last year most of the people in the main were hitting at 6 minutes. So for sure the stop, it's tough. It'll be a lot easier if we weren't doing 48-second laps out there. So you're doing your 10-minute qualifier, you're getting by for that 13th lap, and then you're doing your out lap as well. So you got to be doing You got to be doing 11:30 to even make it. So for sure it's tough with these track conditions. We're running thicker diff fluids than we normally run. We're running way heavier clutches than we normally run. So for sure it's hard. It's been really hot these last few days as well. So been pretty safe on the tune from that aspect. But Saturday we're going to be in the 70s again, hopefully high 70s. So that's going to make it a lot easier on the engines. I'm not going to have to worry about the tune quite as much for the 30-minute semi and the hour-long final. So we'll definitely kind of see where we're at in that semi practice and kind of adjust from there. Another thing, like, I think for me, like, trying to get the lowest possible points, like I said, obviously I want to start as good as I can going in the semi, but really wasn't crazy critical as far as like, drop a point here. Like, if I start second or third in the semi at the end of the day, like, it's really not that.
It's fine.
It's not that big of a deal. That's not what I'm worried about now. I feel like those last few years I've really been able to change my mindset and the program mindset that we have to look to that hour-long final or 45-minute main, whatever it is, and try to get a car and get a program that we can do well in that. So that's been the main goal, is just learning, trying to find the best balance of everything. And like I said, we've gone in the right direction for the most part. We've found a few things that were definitely not in the right direction, but we're getting there.
Yeah, making sure that you're prepared. Making sure you're prepared. Reese is Reese 100% already. Making sure you're prepared, just getting into the final has got to be first and foremost. Once you're there, anyone can win it. Right now, watching Bruno in round 5 today was insane. Dude laid it down. Bruno Coelho. The Viking, David Ronfolk's been on a mission. You got Juan Carlos, who TQ'd, and you got a 2-time and defending champion to going for a 3-peat, David Ongaro. He's 4 ahead of you.
Yeah.
And then yourself, who, everyone knows that you and Mayfield, and I would even say I'd throw Mason Fuller at this point, he's getting there, are like the American hopes for this event. But you're in good company. You've got the best in the world with, right there.
Yeah.
So being that they're all Europeans ahead of you and they race this kind of stuff, how do you feel the races, in your mind? Do you have like a game plan, so to speak, on how you race those guys? Do you push them? Do you work on? Do you just wait for them to make a mistake? Or do you decide that as it's happening?
Yeah, I think for sure there's a lot going on in the moment. We're not just driving around aimlessly. There's a lot of strategy that goes involved in that. But early on, my goal is to be super patient. Like I said, I want to learn from these guys who are starting in front of me. I'm in a good position. Like I said, I'll be starting third in the odd semi, it looks like. So my goal is to learn in the beginning, and I imagine everyone's going to do 7:30 stops. I don't know for sure. Like I said, mileage last year, people weren't doing 7:30 stops in the main, so maybe I'll drop a stop on them, maybe I won't. But for sure, I'm going to go at least a lap longer than everyone else. So hopefully I'm so close enough I can get a little bit of clean air and like I said, just kind of see what happens. But for sure the first 7 minutes is going to be really important, just trying to stay semi-close just so I can learn and see what they're doing differently, where they're going faster. This track, it's really hard to tell like a 47 from a 50 honestly out there when you're watching. Like all the cars look like they're going fast and they all are. So
me and Robert Battier talked last night, and he put it in perspective for me because, obviously, if I can get to a 55, 56, that's fast for me.
Yeah.
However, it's not really far off in the grand scheme of things at visual speed.
Yeah.
And from up there, you look like you're crawling.
Yeah.
On the driver's stand, it doesn't look fast. When you're marshaling, it is blistering fast.
Yeah.
So, are you the same as me, but at a much higher level, obviously? I'm not trying to compare you to me. But, I'm asking, do you feel the same as me where it's very hard to judge your speed on a track like this?
Yeah, 100%. And, it's such a big track, too. Like, you're not pulling away, 2-3 tenths in one section. Like, you're pulling away half a tenth here. I don't know how many turns are on this track, but if you're pulling a half a tenth, you're well over a second faster by the end of the lap. So it's just a little bit everywhere is really big. If we're doing 30-second laps, we go from half a second off to 2 tenths off.
Yeah.
That's totally manageable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being like half a second off, it sounds like a lot, but like I said, we're doing over 45-second laps every lap. So
yeah.
It sounds like a big gap, but you find one little tweak in the setup change just right, and if you're making up just half that tenth in a few of the corners, like it really adds up throughout the whole lap.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a favorite part or section of the track?
Not really. The main thing is just trying to get into the flow. There's a couple sections like the depth perception. I know we talked about it earlier. A couple of the high speed sweeping sections. It is really tough out there to see where you're at in the line. So I've been kind of a little bit more careful in those sections. And just trying to make sure I'm hitting the mark. I'm not trying to go crazy out there and do anything wild. It's just kind of trying to make sure I'm getting more comfortable. I feel like every time I get the track, I can push a little bit more and kind of know where I'm at with the car and can kind of make little adjustments if I need to. Where early on, I didn't know if I was going to hit the outside pipe or the inside pipe. So
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, other than the black marks that we're laying down, now that the track's got black mark grip and bite all the way around it from the glue and the tires and everything. They don't have any kind of center lane marks or anything, you know. So, I know Lucas back at home, and you've raced BHRC many times. He'll in places that are hard to judge, he'll throw down center lines and stuff. There's none of that here. No. So, especially early on when we were making the line, you had to just judge it by. The feel.
There was before there was a groove or anything, and like I said, we're hauling out there. We're doing 48-second laps as fast laps. A couple guys have gone in 47s, but we're going fast. Like if this was any other dirt surface, this was like a, you know, back home like American normal dirt surface, you know, we're running, you know, soft tires, whatever, we'd be doing like minute 15-second laps.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a big track.
It's a big track. I just wish we could convey. I almost wish I had a roller measurer to walk the center line of this track for people, because it is insane how big it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of elevation change. Like there's pretty much like 3 different levels. You get the right side, it's kind of up top, and then you kind of get the middle, it's another level, and then the left side's even lower. So yeah,
a lot of off cambers.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So recent development, there's been a little bit of what could turn in, and we're just finding this out here at the end of qualifying, there could turn into a little bit of a tire gate here at Worlds.
Yeah.
And I don't know what side to be on or how to feel about it, to be 100% honest with you, because, you know, a rule has been written, but in the same token, it's like, when was it ever enforced?
Yeah.
And so there's a situation that the tires have to be 109 millimeters minimum after a race.
Yes.
And there was a jury vote between the blocks today to see if they want to, say, tech the tires prior to the race, and the jury has voted no. You have to finish with 109 millimeters. Is that something at this point, you know, you're 2 days away from semis? Is this something that concerns you right now?
I think it's a huge concern. I don't know exactly how the rules written. From what I heard, it was kind of a gray area, exactly like how clear it is on. I don't think the rules clearly states that it has to be that size at the end of the race. I haven't read it, like I said, so maybe it does. Just from what I know in the past, it has not been enforced that way. It's always been done with pre-tech. The last Worlds here, they pre-tech the tires, and afterwards it did not matter what the size of the tire was. It was just before you went out.
Did they pre-tech the weight as well? Because tire wear and weight, I know that was a big thing in Australia, I believe.
Yes.
Or Vegas.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I know like they check fuel tanks and stuff at the end, and they go through the whole car, make sure there's nothing, you know, crazy going on, or nothing that shouldn't be there. But like I said, in the past, even years this year, the last time we had Worlds here, they did pre-tech on the tires, and you didn't have to worry about it at the end of the race. So it definitely sucks that we're changing it, and it wasn't posted. We weren't aware of it before the event. You know, we planned, worked really hard, and if that was the case, we probably would have had a little bit different options and a little bit different things going on here in qualifying and practice, so that we would know. So yeah, definitely unfortunate, but we'll adjust and adapt, and, you know, do what we can.
Yeah, if that's the way it was 2 years ago, it's a real shitty way of just throwing it at people at the end of qualifying.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking like into practice. We're talking no testing, no ability to do other tires, and half the tire manufacturers can make it without a problem. The other half are pushing the limit.
Yeah.
And I personally think it's kind of shady way of doing things. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but I do feel like that's the way they're doing it is wrong. I really do. I'm all for rules. I haven't read that rule, so I don't know about it, but I don't think tire manufacturers would have brought tires that couldn't pass Worlds if it was a thing.
No, 100%. And like we've been keeping an eye on it. Like we've been measuring tires before I go out for qualifying, because for qualifying they have been measuring after the race, and we were aware of that and knew that, and so no big deal. But yeah, it's for sure pretty crappy to kind of be going into like really racing now and not knowing. You know, I know where my tires are at now, and I'll probably be having to take a Dremel and sand a couple sets down and see where they're at. Obviously, like last time we were here, the track changed a lot. Compounds changed a ton. So I don't think we're really going to know for sure. We're going to find out here at the end of racing, and that's that, right?
How about this pit man you brought with you?
Yeah.
Can we call him Nubs? I mean, what's he doing over there?
I don't know what he's doing. He's on break right now. We had a hard day. It was hot out here.
He's on break. He's going to go pit Cole Ogden.
Yeah.
Dylan Nelson here. He's going to go.
Yeah. Nah, I'm done. I'm done for the day.
We're having beers. We'll come down and watch you guys pit. Dylan Nelson, Joe Borlor is going down to pit. Cole Ogden, his final qualifier for the day. You guys look good, though. I'll tell you that. You might suck, but you look good. Oh, yeah. Shake it, baby. Shake it.
I need another 4 for you. I did a 4.6 or lower.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you've been killing it. And so we're trying to kill it with 2 people. He's doing it by himself.
Yeah, he's been doing awesome.
Dylan's done really great with his pit stops through this weekend. 4.8s, like coming in mid. It's unbelievable because we got down to like 5.4, you know, catching and so. Anyway.
Yeah, he's doing awesome. He's picked it up. It is nice. We can actually see the pit stop time, so everyone kind of knows where they're at. Like it's not a guesswork. So he knows exactly where he's at, and he for sure time qualifying started. Like the intensity was up, and he's making it happen. So he's been working his butt off in the pits too. Like we've been wrenching our asses off, and yeah, we're packed up now. Gonna have a couple beers.
So you got a day off tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a day off.
I know you're rebuilding the car, but what's the rest of the plans?
Yeah,
pool day.
Sleeping a little bit. Pool day. We do have a pool, so I think that's the plan tonight too. Once Taylor gets done running here, we're gonna be jumping in the pool, get some dinner at the house, and kind of just hang out, relax a little bit. Next 2 days, like I said, tomorrow we have the day off. It's gonna be in the 70s, so it's gonna be awesome. And then main day as well will be in the 70s. So we made it through the hot weather. We survived. And
a Michigan boy, you're gonna enjoy that 70-degree weather.
Yeah, I don't do the heat, man. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, man. I am not a heat guy. So yeah, we survived. We made it, and now we get a day out to relax, reset, and try to make it happen on Saturday.
I'm probably gonna race early tomorrow, so I might be able to bone out of here a little bit early and come find you guys. Maybe we can go to dinner or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, well, Dakotah, good luck this weekend, man. I'm rooting for you, you know that.
Thank you.
USA, going light, wheelandtrigger.com. Go and check out the YouTube page. Like and subscribe, share the stuff for us, man. I mean, we've got the best of the best that's been stopping by this weekend. Let's root on our #1 hope right now, Dakotah Phend. Good luck.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon.